Alright. So normally I start off these videos with much more of a, hey guys, how's it going? We're gonna look at this video today. But apparently, that's against the YouTube copyright system. According to QuantumTV. A man that literally has no idea about anything legal ever. Alright. Let's just talk about it then. So, in total, for those of you who don't understand or what I really wanted to do with this type of channel and this type of YouTube is I just wanted to talk over maybe some gameplay, maybe animate some sections of things, and that's how I originally like to make my content. So, yeah, but this time I'm going to have to go back on my laurels and, more or less do the same thing that I wanted to do. To avoid getting the copyright claim, even though it's totally above fair use and whatnot. But we're going to tackle his main points. But, a little bit of backstory. So, earlier this week, Mischief, I'm going to mispronounce the name every time. But Mischief, basically made a video responding to QuantumTV and how he made a bad opinion video and a bad opinion piece on Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring, as those of you may or may not know, is a it's pretty much just a what the fuck? It's pretty much just another Dark Souls game, but another really good Dark Souls game. And again, I'm not to say that that I personally say that the game is a bad game, because I understand that it's a really good game. It's just not my personal cup of tea. I'm more of an FPS guy, not really an RPG man, but he said that the game needs to be easier and it needs to be more accessible to it. And his opinion, concurrently, is that if you don't make a game for everyone, you shouldn't make that game. That's his opinion. It's a stupid opinion, and it's an opinion that completely flies in the face of everything having to do with marketing. How would I know? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just a marketing student who's taken enough business classes to understand that the market itself can be very surprising at times. That very niche objects made for a very small audience can make buckets and boatloads of money. It's almost like if in marketing or in making a product, you need to find a problem, have a solution for that problem, and then continue to deliver that solution to that problem. Example. Dark Souls, when it came out, was originally meant for the people that were looking for a very difficult game to sink their teeth into. Pure gameplay, pure everything all the time. They made that game. Call of Duty is for everyone. But to compare it to alcohol, Call of Duty is the beer or the Budweiser of video games. Whereas a beer or a Budweiser is fine, and a lot of people like beer, not everyone likes beer all the time. Some people, like myself, like rum, which in this case would probably be like the tactical shooters that I play, Escape from Tarkov, Squad, and we'll throw in Dark Souls in there because they're very hard, they're very particular tastes, but not every video game is meant for everyone. You can have preferences on what video game you play, what video game you want to play, and what you're looking from a game. And in saying that, oh, you should make this game for everyone ever, is, number one, impossible. Number two, is a stupid opinion to have, because no product in the history of fucking ever is meant for everyone. And number three, just because you are now quadrupling down on the same argument doesn't mean that it's just about Elden Ring anymore. It's become bigger than that, and most of the people have moved past that. Like I'm going to right now. I just wanted to address that at the beginning of the video, that this isn't about his opinions on Elden Ring. I just wanted to say that his opinions on the gaming industry about, like, oh, every game should be for everyone ever, is fucking stupid. Alright? The games that are made for everyone ever don't exist. Products that are made for everyone ever also don't exist. People have different problems. People need different solutions. If there was one product for everything ever, it'd be just fucking stupid to not have that product. It's dumb to assume that you need to have a product or something that is mass marketable in order for it to be successful. That's not true. It's just not. It's honestly not true. Again, you're going to be like, oh, well, how do you know? Marketing student. In college. And I've talked to actual small businesses and actual creators and developers who are indie, who get no marketing budget. You know, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty credible source to me. Again, I don't claim to be the end-all be-all authority. Fuck no. I'm just saying I have a little bit more experience in this type of thing. But, moving on from there, after he made a shit opinion, and after Miss Chief then decided to commentate over that shit opinion, he then decided to contact him and say, hey, I'm gonna possibly copyright claim your video. He was not as cordial as that, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna copyright claim your video. I don't want to, but I'm probably gonna do it because you're basically just you're basically abusing fair use, even though he clearly wasn't, and he is also living in a completely separate country which has slightly different rules, but they're still very similar to American rules, and they don't necessarily apply, and he'd actually have to try over in UK, which he doesn't know how the fuck to do that. Also, he's not provided any evidence as to why this is not any sort of fair dealing or fair use type situation. What's kind of stupid in this whole situation and stuff is that he himself claims that fair use is the most abused system in the world, let alone not realizing that he himself is abusing the system by utilizing copyrighted images, utilizing copyrighted footage, and also utilizing copyrighted, like, stuff, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what would be, like, considered copywritten, but I know that logos are, posters and images are, and other sorts of things that he's probably used in his video, like most B-roll footage, and also, like, any gameplay that he would use, any sorts of other sorts of, I forget. But all that I know is that it's just awful. And he is crying and saying that he's not the bad guy in this situation, without realizing that he is. Here's the facts that we have. We have evidence that you threatened to take down the video and file a copyright claim on it. We have evidence that you were in the process of doing so via your own video. We have evidence that the video and the stuff in question that you said are shit opinions, and are opinions that, you know, can be chastised because of a little thing called free speech that exists in at least America. I'm not sure about many other countries, but I'm fairly certain it also exists in the UK and most developed areas. I'm not sure of legalese. Please comment down below if you know about more legal stuff than I do. And also have been called out by literally everyone and their mother that you are abusing the copyright system. And here's the thing. Sir, have you heard of a little man by the name of David DeFranco? Now, David over here, Mr. DeFranco, basically and essentially pulled the same shit that you were doing. The exact same. Except he did it 4 goddamn times. How did this happen? Well, let's talk about that. See, he filed these false copyright claims, and he actually did file them. He eventually released them, and then released a video saying, oh, I was just protecting my brand. Oh, I was just doing this. No. Just no. Full stop. You're a dick. You abused the system. And you were just trying to stop people from, criticizing your YouTube. Or criticizing your opinions. Here's another thing. You say that you don't care. Yet you have fucking 4 videos on the topic. 4 of them. 4. 4. If you didn't care, you would have left the original video up. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have made a part 2 to that video. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have made a response to the other part 2 video. If you really didn't fucking care, alright, you would have not responded to Review Tech USA. If you really truly didn't care, you would have done all that shit and just left up the first video for no other reason. And you would have never made that threat in the first place. If you truly, truly did not care about the situation for Elden Ring, if you truly did not care about the situation involving your own content, if you did not care about the situation involving you making this threat, which actually does go against YouTube's terms of service if you were to actually fucking read them. If you didn't care, you would have not made the video in the first place. You wouldn't have. And that's the thing that a lot of these people who say, oh, I don't care, don't understand. If you didn't care about a specific topic, if you didn't care to talk about specific topics, if you did not care at all about the topic or about your opinions or about being validated, you would not continue the fucking conversation. That's what I do if I don't care about the conversation anymore. A person starts talking to me and I'm like, oh no, I've moved on, can we just talk about something else? That might seem cowardly to you, but if you truly didn't care about the topic and say, oh, I don't really know too much about it, and my opinions shouldn't really matter, don't you think that that's actually not caring? Again, I don't care about your actual opinions on Elden Ring too much. I care a little bit. Because, again, I was like you, where I was like, oh, I don't like the game because it's too fucking difficult. Why did someone make this? And then I played another game called Escape from Tarkov. You're probably seeing some gameplay of it up on the screen. But I played that game for a long time, and I'm still playing. I love that game to bits. But here's the thing. Escape from Tarkov made me understand why games like Elden Ring, why games like Dark Souls and Demon Souls, why the stupidly hard difficulty modes exist in video games, and why originally, when games came out, there was no difficulty mode. It was just whatever the fuck difficulty it was at. There was no anything having to do with switching up the AI systems, no anything having to do with if the game was fucking hard, if the game had a difficult boss and shit, guess what? You're out of luck. You don't get to choose your game modes. Most Nintendo games don't have that, even today. Most games of, like, a lot of other games that aren't too mainstream, at least in some regards, don't have that either. What you're talking about is you're saying you want to make the game more accessible to everyone to have an easier time. You sound like a games journalist, and not the good kind. You sound like what was his name? What was that? There was like one. There was a famous games journalist who played games like Doom and who played games like fucking Cuphead and couldn't get past the tutorial level. You sound like him. You sound like someone who just can't understand how to play video games, yet plays video games regardless because it's just the popular and hot topic right now. You review TVs, you do all this other shit, and it's just not what happens. If you have a shit opinion and you put it online publicly, don't get angry when you get backlash to it. Just don't. It's not fun to talk about this. And again, I'm trying to follow your example of not utilizing that whole thing, and I'm throwing out my original format of playing your videos because I don't even want to give you the attention anymore. You're saying, "Oh, only utilize 1 to 5 seconds of it." That's taking your stuff out of context. That's called p-hacking. It's a thing in logic where you take something out of context of the original. Wouldn't you want your video to be played entirely so you have the context of where it is and where you're coming from? Wouldn't you want your video to be talked about and to be debated and looked at and utilized in a manner of speaking of, not of an online debate of some kind? Why would you go into comment sections in the first place of video people re-uploading and utilizing your video in an actual fair use format to then commentate and talk about how you are correct and everyone else is wrong? Like, again, if you don't care, shut the fuck up. If you truly just didn't care, shut your mouth. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Anyway, I've gone on for way too long about this. My point is to address address all the points simultaneously in a conclusion. The TLDR. Number 1, your opinion on Elden Ring. Does it need your opinion on Elden Ring of it needing to be available and needing to be accessible to more people with an easier mode? No. That's your opinion. You can have a shit opinion. Number 2, threatening to copyright claim a video, or even just the threat of copyright claiming the video is not good and does actually go against YouTube's terms of service. Regardless of what the person says to you, they have the right to speak out and debate you, especially in a public space and online. Number 3, your video is not taken down if your video is not taken down a peg if you decide to, have the original video be continued to take up, and also to, not be a dick about it and not be a pussy. Number 4, just because a game is not made for everyone doesn't mean that it's not a good game. Number 5, technology can be used for various reasons other than its, quote, intended purposes. Number 6, to essentially bring this video to a close, you are so wrong in this case. Because you're trying to claim copyright over something that is impossible to copyright because it is available on the public. And saying that, oh, he obtained it illegally, or oh, he obtained it in a manner that goes against this company's policy, isn't a good argument that's going to necessarily hold up in court. Because here's the thing, sir. It didn't. Looking at H3H3, looking at all the other people who are commentary channels who have been taken to court over this stuff, or not yet even, you have no leg to stand on. You seriously don't. People have been taken down for far less. And if you continue down this path, I can assure you that you yourself are going to have a bad time. It's just facts. Anyway, gone on for too long about this shit. And I'm over it. I'm done. No more. Just wanted to make this video, put it out for a very quick day. Might upload some shorts a little bit later. Sorry for any bad audio issues. I'm still trying to figure it out with my microphone, because it's like, it's very weird. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. My name is GamePango21, and peace off.